Everyone's asking, is AI just another bubble waiting to burst like the dot-com era? Here's where I come in. I've witnessed technology booms firsthand, and this one smells different. Today, I'll dive into why most people have missed the mark on AI entirely. Let's get straight to it. We're dissecting the bubble theory first, diving into those two ledgers, a fresh angle on the numbers. Then we'll scrutinize the perplexing speed of change, gauge the counter-arguments, and align everything to reveal this as potentially more than a bubble, perhaps a monumental value shift. Let's jump in. I've seen the AI chatter before. Two camps, both confident. One says we're in another 1999 bubble, pointing at high valuations like they're neon signs. But predicting a bubble is predicting human behavior, not tech. Remember, humans are notoriously bad at acting rationally. The core debate, it boils down to one metric, comparing company value to current earnings. Yes, it might look inflated, but think, what if we're measuring with the wrong ruler? This isn't just another sector, it's reshaping work itself. Bubble or breakthrough? Does your measuring stick know? Critics arguing about AI's impact trip over a simple idea. They're forcing a square peg into a round hole. It's like measuring internet speed with a ruler. That one mistake? It distorts the entire picture. Let's correct the lens. So here's where the puzzle gets interesting. Understanding the divide between valuing a few high-flying tech giants and a technology that's rewriting every rulebook. Think about it, like slicing apples and oranges with the same knife. Thinking of AI as just another tech sector is a mistake. An oversight as grand as sizing up electricity by only checking the electric company's profits. It's like seeing just the wire and missing the light bulbs. AI isn't simply another product to market. It's an entirely new canvas for reimagining our world. This is where it turns intriguing. The focus shifts entirely. We're looking at a new set of metrics, not the ones everyone else parrots. Ready to rethink? The secret isn't current AI spend. It's the looming question of how much labor cost AI can replace. That's the jackpot everyone's eyeing, with spreadsheet calculations whispering in the background. So, here's the staggering headline number, $37 billion. That's what companies are pouring into generative AI today. Sounds monumental, right? But in the broad landscape of the global economy, it's merely a line item. Let's call this the novelty ledger, still waiting for its real impact. Let's talk numbers. The global labor cost, $60 trillion. Of that, a hefty $40 trillion is from knowledge work, thinking, analyzing, the stuff AI eats for breakfast. Now ask yourself, which number really matters here? The $37 billion currently spent or the $40 trillion being eyed by AI's calculating gaze? Time and again, people say, this time is different, a phrase feared in finance circles. Yet, consider this, we truly might be in uncharted territory. The maps we rely on are incomplete. Here's where it becomes undeniable. Costs are dropping so fast, it's like they're in free fall. Skills aren't just improving, they're evolving at warp speed. And the real twist? AI is now self-building, creating a feedback loop that's cranking the accelerator beyond what most will fathom. Consider this, a 280-fold reduction in cost over 2 years. That's no exaggeration. When core business components plummet in price that rapidly, it's not merely an upgrade. It's a full-scale rulebook rewrite. That's when you realize you're not just refining, you're redefining. AI isn't just refining tools, it's fundamentally reshaping itself. Remember steam engines? They were remarkable. But AI is on another level, constantly improving, rewriting its own code. It's as if the invention has finally joined the inventor at the drawing board. Let's face the criticism head on. What are the strongest arguments against this? The risks are real, and they'd be ignored at our peril. If anything, they're especially critical. When technology gets cheaper, you'd think companies would save, right? But here's the twist. Enter the Jevons paradox. When things become efficient, we don't use less. We actually consume more. So, brace yourself and keep an eye on how this unfolds. We're seeing it play out. AI costs are tumbling, but spending has tripled instead. Why? It's not just about saving on old tasks. It's about inventing new possibilities. In technology, efficiency breeds more use, not less. Curious how this trend will escalate? Follow for more. Here's the punchline nobody's mentioning. What if AI does its magic, revolutionizes the world, and then becomes as common as tap water? The risk is that all those efficiencies just trickle down to us, the consumers, leaving AI companies without massive profits, a stark reality. And let's be honest, isn't that plausible? This isn't about creating bubbles out of thin air. It's about reassigning value across the board. Shift perspective and see, AI isn't inflating, it's reallocating. Work isn't disappearing, it's transforming. It's shifting from paying salaries to paying API fees. Companies may think of it as a spreadsheet rearrangement, swapping the labor column for compute. Yet it's all there, a familiar financial dance, just performed under a different spotlight. While critics focus on jobs disappearing, they're ignoring the real shift. It's not a crash, it's a scale imbalance. The labor costs dip, while the compute costs soar like hotcakes at a tech convention. Watching. Consider this a wake-up call. Here's one to ponder. What if we're not looking at a bubble ready to pop, but at a foundation for an immense and rapid value shift? Consider that past revolutions took decades to construct. We have the essentials already. So the real question isn't if this transformation occurs, but how fast we're willing to ride it. What gets left behind as we sprint uphill? Follow for more.